Just put me on and see if Trevor will come up. Just put me on. All right, so here we go. The start of the Excessive Vipers game. And it's basically, so we're starting the Excessive Vipers game, and Vipers got pounded down by Excessive yesterday. I don't know if that's because, they knew already that they were in today and that it didn't mean anything. As you see Rich Telford walking off and Thomas Taylor getting shot off the break as well. So here comes Alex Savino getting in there, and he's going to try to shoot cross field. Oh, nice job by Alex Savino. Used to play for Dynasty. Now playing for the Vipers. So Excessive able to feast over here on the snake side right there. But, no, sorry, that wasn't Alex Savino. Thought that was Alex Savino in there. It was another Vipers player. So Excessive lost. Thomas Taylor off the break and Rich Telford. They still have 2 players alive, and the Vipers are dying out of their spot. So initially, it looked like the Vipers had the upper hand, but Excessive able to chop them up. It's Junior Brown in that back center getting a couple kills. And it's just, I think that's Alex Savino there in the back. Just him left alive. And Junior Brown advancing up the field. Gonna get a couple extra. So nice job by Excessive. And initially it was, initially didn't look good for him at all. Initially, Thomas Taylor and Rich Telford walk off pretty much immediately. And it didn't look good. Vipers had a decent breakout, but then, the Vipers, the same problem they had yesterday, dying out of their bunkers. And, essentially, that's just, that's fundamental paintball. And we're here on Sunday, and, after having that problem yesterday, that would have been one of the things that I would have tried to have, I just say, hey, look, man, okay, here, what do we do wrong? Basically, you got a situation where we lost yesterday because we were dying out of our bunkers and we were getting shot off the break. Now we flipped it around. We're shooting people off the break, and we can't capitalize because we're dying out of our bunkers. So that's a problem, So, and I'm back with Trevor Pearson. Hey, back from scouting games and stuff.
Yeah.
How are things looking out there?
Good, man. I really thought that Aftermath would carry their momentum into today, and they played pretty well. I'm not disappointed at all.
Yeah, it was a close match.
Yeah, but Dynasty, they got the experience.
It's the Sunday thing, man.
Yeah.
And Dynasty's going to play well on a Sunday when they have to win big in just to even make they squeak in at 6 or something like that.
Yeah, and they always find a way. That's the thing about Dynasties. They always find a way to make it in.
Yeah, they definitely always find a way. So we're looking at there's Thomas Taylor and Rich Telford right there. Conrad Rangel. Really like Conrad. He's a really nice kid. And he is one of those guys that, and we're looking at Thomas right there, but, Conrad right there at the bottom of your screen, he's a snake player for Excessive. He used to come, in case you didn't tune in yesterday, we were talking about him yesterday, but, that guy would come up to Rich's field in Modesto and just stand around on the sidelines just all day long until hoping that somebody would get tired so he could play. Just so he could get a game.
Just to get a point in.
Just to get a point in. You see Conrad getting patted on the back. But you know what? He did get points in, and when he got in there, even if he got shot, he still had a great attitude about stuff. He was like a little sponge, and now he's starting for him. So Conrad diving into Snake 1 and shooting, going to shoot cross field. And so, oh, look at that penalty. The Vipers immediately headed into the box. So Thomas Taylor up there, and it looks like Thomas might not have hit on him. So that might be a penalty. Nope. Yep, penalty, but on Thomas, yeah, so penalty on Thomas Taylor.
Heyman Chapman getting shot out of that insert Dorito on the Dorito side.
But not going to matter, though, because and that's Anthony.
Some chaos coming from the sidelines.
Yeah, I know. The sidelines is just screaming like wild maniacs over there. I don't know what's going on. I mean, oh, they're just waiting for him to blow the horn. I mean, they're trying to take as much of time off their own penalty as what it is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So good job by Conrad of making it to Snake 1. But you know what? The Viper is just it's the same as yesterday as they go down 2-0. So now it's 9 unanswered points that Excessive has scored against them in the past 2 games they've played.
Yeah.
and they're just having problems with fundamentals. You know, if they're shooting guys off the break, they're dying. And you see Thomas Taylor out there
talking to the refs.
You know, so if they're shooting guys off the break, then they're dying after that, out of their bunkers. And then the next game they come out, they don't shoot anybody off the break, and they get shot off the break.
Right.
It's paintball. Stuff like that's going to happen, but it's basically now we're here at Sunday, and yesterday, who cares? Yeah, they got beat bad, but, you know, when they went back, they probably talked about it didn't mean anything. You know, maybe our heads weren't in it. You know, we knew we were already in. But basically, you know, now you got to make a point, man. I mean, Excessive's going to come in head high like, dude, we destroyed these dudes yesterday.
Yeah.
So now all we have to do is just do exactly what we did yesterday, and they are doing that. And came back from a 5-on-3 to win the first point, you know? So it's like, and then, so a penalty on both teams, that's going to be a factor too.
Sure.
So we'll see.
Well, I mean, like anytime, you know, whenever you play on Sunday, you know, penalties, you need to be as penalty-free as possible, you know?
Yes,
like, obviously,
absolutely.
you're never trying to get penalties.
No, yeah.
But penalties are going to hurt you even more on Sunday, you know, especially with the race to 7 format.
Well, the thing is you're never going to try to get penalties, but you can try to not get penalties.
Yeah.
You know, just be a little bit more sensitive to your body. And, you know, a lot of times, like Thomas Taylor, for instance, has been plagued by penalties his entire career. But he's just one of those guys, like, I really think, like, after watching him in practice, he just doesn't either – the hits don't register, you know, or something, or maybe he needs to be more body sensitive or something. And but it's just, that's definitely a part of it, you know. So if you're having problems getting a lot of penalties out there, and you know, because they'll be like, dude, you got hit. Like, how did you not feel it? Oh, dude, I swear I didn't feel it, you know. So it's like, well, then.
At first, you're like, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, sure, you didn't feel it. Right.
Well,
sure, buddy.
You played with him for a long time, so.
He plays well enough to make up for it, but there goes Conrad Rangel now out to the back corner for Excessive.
Viper sending someone to the X, left side of the X.
That's good, though, because they're down. Oh, and then now here we go. Excessive getting destroyed off the break. Good job by the Vipers. Now they're just coming just like a swarm down the field.
Is that
Alex? I think that's Alex Savino.
Okay. Getting shot out.
All right, Conrad Rangel. Yeah, Rangel. That's Savino handing the flag right now.
Okay.
But, yeah, Rangel getting shot out. Last player left alive in that back corner. Here we go. So the Vipers, this is exactly what they need to do. Get back on the board, take advantage of the power play, put a point up, make it a 1-point match. You know, make your presence known. Finally, after 9 unanswered points in their 2 games they've played so far.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Couple familiar names on the Vipers. Heyman Chapman used to play with Trauma in the Russian Legion. And Savino, he was with LTZ for a while, right?
He was with LTZ. He was with Dynasty. You know, he's taking it seriously. He's one of my roommates, Alex Savino, and it works out all the time. I mean, you know, he's a young, fun kid. He's, you know, out having a good time and stuff. But man, like, he runs every day. He's in the gym. Him and Scott Kemp, and Brandon Shore and Scott Kemp especially are just on a mission to get as jacked and tan as possible.
Drinking Jaeger bombs, a couple Heinekens.
But no, I'm serious. They're like in the gym. They're like gym rats now, you know. So, and that's good because they need to be if they want to be, you know. And they're taking after guys like Nicky, John Richardson, Danny Till, jacked. You know, those guys they need to be in good shape because, you know, guys like Danny and John and Nicky aren't getting any younger.
Right.
So they need to be in the best shape possible to keep their bodies in condition to play the game at this level.
Right.
Now, on the flip side, Scotty Kemp's young, so it's not like, you know, as far as conditioning is like a problem, but he's got to keep up with those guys.
Right.
Because that's
those
his
guys
competition.
are like, they're almost, you know, like the trendsetters, and they've raised the bar, and you know, they're keeping it up at a high level. And I think for these younger guys coming up, you know, they're a little underdeveloped, you know, for their age, and so they're just trying to catch up.
Yeah. Right? So 20 seconds go before the start of this point, but yeah, that's the thing. Like, you know, so Alex Savino, I think, also has been very motivated by the fact that he's not playing for Dynasty anymore.
Yeah. You
know, because and it's tough with the cut down to 8. And that's the type of guy that's going to go. He just got on the team. As we see the breakout, he just got on the team, and that year, and you know, it's just unfortunate. But he's really taken that to heart and really has stepped up his training regimen. So you see Thomas Taylor dying off the break, the snake side open for both teams, and now trying to get out there. Oh no, he gets shot as well. That's Walsh. Oh, I'm sorry, Watson. So that was Anthony getting shot, trying to get out.
Vipers are 4 up. It's like Excessive is 2 up. With the kind of in the middle here.
And here we go. See, this is the type of play you want to see out of the Vipers coming down and making a statement.
Here we go.
You know, I mean, they want to basically tell Excessive, look, you may have beat us yesterday.
I think
but
Excessive just got a red.
Oh, wow. Excessive getting it looks like a major penalty. That's really going to help out the Vipers. No, I only see a minute on the board.
Yeah.
Maybe he lost his yellow flag or something.
That happens.
It happens.
So the Vipers capitalizing on that.
Tying it up. Excessive with the penalty. He was able to get in the box, so if it is a minor, it will come off. Good, I'm impressed. The Vipers are stepping it up. This is exactly what they needed to do, especially after going down 2 points.
Yep. Well, now they got 2 penalties up. Nope.
So the winner of this game is going to play Vicious, who, because they won out early on, they are, basically, sitting in the finals right now, just waiting to see who they're going to play. Yep. They're on the stands, scouting right now, watching. Feeling probably pretty confident, man, because they were just amazing.
Rolling through people.
Yeah, rolling. They rolled through Excessive. I mean, they were phenomenal. It's an interesting grind, though. This is semi-pro, and you got a team like Excessive, which has been around since 2004.
Right.
So it's like they've put so many years in, and they've been pro team. Look at Rich Telford. Look at Rich arguing. He's an intense individual, man. I love Rich. Very good. We need people like Rich in the world, you know, basically.
On the field, he's probably one of the most intense competitors I've ever seen,
it's,
Off the field, nice.
You basically want to work with Rich, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because he's a beast out there, man.
Yeah.
But so anyway, so you got it, and it's good that he's got that crew around still competing at a high level of paintball, and because he's bringing up some kids, and they've really, like I said, that Conrad Rangel kid, Anthony. Those guys they've been out playing for a long time, especially Anthony. I've been playing against Anthony he was out there playing in his early teens, when we were on the Ironman together, me and Rich. So it's cool to see him now playing up there. But anyway, so like I said, it's the struggle out there, to try to get to the pinnacle. We're watching pros and semi-pros play, but, we're surrounded by these divisional fields where, there's struggles going on there, too, as we're about to watch the start of this next point. We actually have an interview with Mike Hinman and Greg Pauly. Greg Pauly, the coach of Vicious and player, as we see the breakout. Oh, more disaster for Excessive as they lose Rangel over here in Watts. And
Thomas gets taken out of the Dorito corner. Looks like Rich is stuck in that stand out there.
So, here comes Vipers, man. Vipers just swarming down this snake side of the field. And here comes Alex Avino. Alex cuts on the inside, grabs the flag, and that's going to do it. So 3 unanswered points by the Vipers. Nice job. Good job.
Vipers making a nice little run.
Yeah, so anyway, like I said, we have 2 interviews, one with Mike Hinman and Greg Pauly. They discuss kind of how hard it is financially for these guys to play and kind of like where the state of the divisional grind is. So hopefully we'll get to see that interview here pretty soon. So yeah, we got that interview. Let's check it out.
Well, I mean, as far as the divisional guys are concerned, I mean, that's where that's the heart. That's what everybody can relate to. I mean, we all start as a divisional team and working our way up. I mean, with the economy being bad, you're seeing a lot less lower sponsorships. Stores getting 20 or 30 free cases, which then go to their team. That's a lot rougher. A lot of teams are just disappearing. And that happens every year. Same faces, new jerseys. Everybody just turns a little bit. But this year I've never seen anything like this. I mean, there's just teams that are just gone, players that are just gone. It's a rough year, I mean, the guys that are left are the ones that have the heart that do this just because this is what we do. I guess we're idiots for it, but this is what we believe in, this is what we do. It's also good. You're going to get rid of a lot of the egos, a lot of the big heads, and get paintball back to just winning, It's not going to be a big spectacle. It's going to be 5 guys against 5 guys, and the sweat's going to be the same, the blood, sweat, and tears are going to be the same, but then you will be different. I mean, the financial is the biggest issue. It's tough, man. I mean, there's a lot of teams here that may not make it to the next one. I mean, the PSP did a great thing by going to 4 events this year. This is what we need. It'll be easier, but it's tough, man. I mean, we have 11 guys on our Division I squad, and we'll probably be down to 8 at the next one. They just can't afford to do it, That's where the state of the economy right now. It's definitely tough. It's hard out there for a pimp, but the guys that suffer through these hard times, I'm sure we'll be in a better place the next year or two when we start to pick back up.
Well, the really hard part about the divisional grind is that those guys go out and they play all the time on a budget. You know, that's like the hardest thing that we see with all the players that the new players we try to work with and bring them up, is a lot of them are just financially challenged to be able to go out and buy 4 or 5 cases of paint a weekend to really get in the the amount of practice or drills or whatever it is that they need to start accomplishing moving up the ladder and moving up the ranks. And the other big thing is like the lack of organization on divisional teams. There's just not as much structure as when you get into like the pro teams and stuff. So that's another big problem, is a lot of good players I think kind of just fall through the cracks just for the fact that nobody in their area is organized enough to keep them together and keep them moving up that ladder. If you're looking to further your paintball career, I would definitely go and find a organization or organized team in your area that has a proven track record, even if it's a pro team that maybe not have like a divisional team, but at least they can turn you in the right direction to maybe get you on a team that they believe in, will help further their thing. The biggest thing, I guess, is just finding somebody that's organized enough to be able to provide you not only with a team to play on, but with guidance to get you to be a better player.
So yeah, that's where we're at. That's
Wow.
the divisional grind, and so we need to stay positive. If you're out there and you're balling, help out, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to take this to the next level, but it's only going to come with hard work. And if you have your divisional teams out there, let's try to keep them as organized as possible. Throw tournaments.
Yeah.
Try to earn some money for your team so you guys can get to events. That's a way to do it. And it's a proven track record. Just get together with your local field. As we see the breakouts, we had a timeout there, and now, XSV trying to ice the Vipers down, and they did a good job of it, because now bloodbath off the break, and another one dropping out of there, so it's just the back center left for the Vipers.
I think it's Heyman.
Oh, but look at that. I think it's Heyman Chapin, and he's in the back center for the Vipers, but I'll tell you what, 2 XSV players get chewed up, so it's 3-on-1. A little bit more manageable than a 5-on-1, but still, it's good. It's just too tough.
Too much.
Watson grabbing that flag.
Tying it back up at
So now here comes XSV. This is a much better match than we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
This is what I was hoping we were going to get. Back and forth battle. I mean, Vipers, talented squad. They got great guys. They got Heyman Chapin and Alex Savino on that team,
Yeah.
So, and all their other boys too. That team has talent and depth. The problem is that just yesterday they didn't have the performance they had, so I was kind of scared about their mental state heading into today. But I'll tell you what, they stepped it up, and they've put 3 points on the board against XSV. Now, XSV, smart timeout.
Right.
As we were listening in to Greg Pauly talk about, the struggle and the divisional grind. And Greg Pauly is a good example of a guy who really does make a difference.
Yeah.
He cares about the sport. He's a solid dude. He tries to surround himself with solid people.
Yeah, he's an ambassador.
Yeah, he's an ambassador in his area. That's the thing. It's like you have these really good dudes that are in their areas that have stores or fields, like Rich. There wouldn't be paintball in Modesto at the level that it exists. Like Rich always jokes, putting Modesto on the map, baby. Because it's like, Modesto is this, little town in Central Valley of California that most people don't hear about. But, Rich Telford lives there, so we got to talk about it. Same with Greg Pauly's from Nebraska. So it's like, anyway. But it's those special guys that are making a difference out there.
Right.
But anybody can be those guys. You just got to step up and do what it takes.
Right.
So I mean, we get emails all the time. What do I have to do to get sponsorship? What do I have to do to play pro level? What do I have to do? Well, you got to act the part.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be at the top level, be a solid dude, man. Follow through on the things that you're planning on doing. Organize stuff.
Yeah.
Throw tournaments. Throw charity tournaments, that sort of stuff. So it's possible. It's totally possible. Look, Greg Pauly, guys are in the finals waiting for the winner of this match right here.
Right.
All right, so it's XSV 3, Vipers 3. We're under 15 minutes left to go. You're looking at XSV on your screen right now in the breakout. And Thomas Taylor out there. He gets shot off the break. Haven't seen much out of Thomas Taylor at all this game. Maybe his ankle's hurting him finally. I don't know.
He's been pounding on it.
Well, that's what I was saying, man. They should have sat him yesterday when they didn't need the game. I mean, if I was XSV, I would have let somebody else go out there and let Thomas take a rest that ankle. Oh, Alex Savino getting shot. Is that Alex? I think he's got someone else's jersey on.
Heyman Chapman getting blasted out of the center stand-up. Looks like it's a 3-on-1, 4-on-1 for XSV.
So now XSV trying to get that extra point here, or get that lead point. take it to 4-3.
Excessive is doing a better job of staying alive. You know, like making it to your primaries and then living behind your guns.
Mm-hmm. Well, they practice a lot, man. You know, it's just talking to Rich yesterday about the spool drill that we used to do.
Yeah.
You know, you go up there to Modesto and you're at Rich's field. There's frost on the ground, playing on. You know, it was just, you know, this old school stuff, and it's freezing because it's, you know, NorCal in the winter.
Yeah.
And you're doing these spool drills where the spool's like 20 feet away, 15, 20 feet away, and it's just straight snap shooting. You know, and you're just getting shot in your hands and you can't even feel them anymore. And
yeah.
But that's, you know, toughens you up a little bit.
Well, that's stuff you got to do. And like when you're talking about, you know, like what do you have to do to make it and stuff, you know, like everyone's talking about the economy, and like now's the time that you have to get creative. You have to
Absolutely.
find new
Good point.
avenues and new ways of getting stuff done, and, you know, being able to fund yourself and being able to fund your team.
Yeah, because if you're out there and, you know, the guys are, you know, wondering how do you get sponsorship, man, it's hard for pro teams to get sponsorship right
Yeah.
now. I mean, a lot of these pro teams didn't even have deals until like 2 days before this event.
Exactly.
You know, so it's a scramble out there. So, I mean, if you're a D5 team, you know, it doesn't really matter how much you love paintball or how much you play. You're probably not going to get any sort of decent sponsorship. So you got to get creative. You know, hold a local tournament, ref the tournament, throw it yourself. You can make money that way.
Call some newspapers, call a news crew to come out.
Yeah,
and
do a little
piece.
story.
Yeah.
That's another thing, though,
that, kind of
that we're
stuff.
trying to do is we really want to involve the divisional struggle into the narrative of paintball. You know,
Yeah.
so if you guys have interesting stories out there, you know, send me an email. Let the PSP know. You know, I mean, if it's a cool story, we'll try to get you guys some airtime. You know, really, because, you know, the more that people can understand the heart that goes into this, because there's so much heart out there, and that's the cool thing about paintball. It really is. You know, I mean, it's an expensive sport to play. Especially if you play it as much as all these tournament players play.
Right.
But it's very constructive, though, because it, you know, keeps kids out of trouble. It helps you focus, and it also, so we're heading up on just a couple seconds before we start this point. You know, so if there's any parents listening in, I mean, I've heard so many paintball saved my life stories, or,
Yeah.
you know, like paintball kept me in school because I knew I had to handle my business in order to play, like that sort of stuff.
Goodwill kind of stuff.
Well, not only that, but it's like the struggle, like I said, to try to succeed at this sport is just a microcosm of life itself.
Right.
You know, I mean, if you can, you know, if the lessons you learn here will pay dividends in the future. All right, so we're watching Excessive right now, 1 point up against the Vipers, trying to see who's going to play vicious for the semi-pro win here at the inaugural PSP event. First event of the year.
See, shot of the overall field right in the middle there from our little bubble cam.
So now here comes Viper. Viper's getting a nice shot cross field on Junior Brown, and Watson trying to get out wide. Rich Telford dying out of that back spot as Vipers come storming. Oh, looks like he might have traded out. No, it was the center. It was Heyman Chapman in that center, and here comes the last guy's going to wear it. Oh.
Is that Spica? Kyle Spica? He was in the gridlock camp.
Ooh, penalty. I don't know. I think that was a penalty on Watson. Was he? Spica?
Yeah. Mr. Spica. So Vipers hanging
Wow.
up before the
Nice
Excessive
game.
player got in the box. Yeah,
Back
it's a
and
great
forth.
game.
So score now 4-4 as long as that hang is clean.
See the ref giving the A-OK.
So we got some awesome games coming up. We got, you know, basically Red Legion taking on All-Americans.
Yep.
Coming up after this match, actually. So please don't go anywhere. The score now 4-4. In the semi-pro division, you're watching Excessive taking on the Vipers. The winner of this game takes on Vicious for the win in the finals. And the rules are the same in case you're just tuning in semi-pro as pro. So race to 7, 20 points on the clock, no halftime, 1 minute minors, 2 minute majors. So again, right after this match, we got Boston Red Legion taking on the All-Americans. Let's check out this replay from that last point. So you're looking at Watson here. Last guy left alive for Excessive, and there was a penalty called on this, and you see
There's Spica.
so Spica
Running
cutting
past
on
the
the
cans.
inside, running past the cans, and he is going to come around. Nice job. He takes him out, and then Watson just tries to trade out with him and spins. That's a mental mistake there because, no, I totally understand. I mean, I've done it a million times myself, but, you know, it's like when that happens, now they got to start down a body.
Right.
So not only do they lose that point, but because, you know, and it's like, okay, so he gets that guy? Who cares? Doesn't matter. There's still three more guys left out there.
That's just awareness. You need to know, you know, what you're up against, and And just mental errors like that, you know, they're gonna hinder your performance.
I mean, the only time that you want to take a chance and try to, to play on and spin like that is when there's a lot of players left on the field and a guy's going to try to take a close spot from like an important spot, like a 50 snake or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the only time you even want to think about trying to get that, just get that ball out, when you get traded up, so, but that's not the time to even try that, man, because now you're hamstringing your team.
Oh, Viper player leaving early.
Wow, mental mistake from the Viper player leaving early, so that's good. Oh, and then also they lose the player trying to get out here on the snake side of the field.
3-on-3. Oh, now the Vipers get a penalty.
And then immediately get a penalty, so it looked like Vipers. Yeah, Vipers were just stunting real quick, but then just blowing it for themselves.
So now the Vipers only have one guy, and he's in that center X there. There goes Rich. He's going to go around, double tap.
Ooh, I thought he was going to give him an extra.
Rich grabbing the flag there.
He's going to let Anthony run it in.
Wouldn't you? I'd have people do my dirty work, too.
It's like, I'm Rich Tuff, I don't run anymore, baby. Here, run this in for me. Shoot people off the break, gunfight people. That's what I do, son. So Vipers blowing at that point because they had excessive on a power play. They had the momentum, too.
Yeah.
So
just the mental error on the Viper player who left early, makes it 4-on-4 right away.
So the score is now 5-4, excessive 2 points away from a victory.
Yeah.
So what are we expecting to see out of Red Legion coming up here in the next match?
Man, it's going to be a good game. Definitely going to be a good game. I think, we'll see, like I was talking about earlier.
Also, just real quick, in case anybody doesn't know, Trevor is one of the coaches of Boston Red Legion, and kind of has very intimate knowledge of the team, and also watches every single game that's played out here, so knows the other teams really well, too.
Yeah.
So break it down.
I think, like the snake's going to be a very, crucial element to the game. We saw, pretty much seen all weekend that, the snake, if you can get into the snake unmatched, and crawl up the snake, then you can you get all those cross field shots, and then you can really open it up for your Dorito side players. I think that's going to be a huge key to the game. The blind shots that you see a lot of teams, Philly doesn't use it as much. I think those are going to come into play as the day progresses.
So personally, for the Russians, who do you feel is playing the best for you guys right now?
I think J-Rab's had some games.
He's playing great, man.
Malloy, Berdnikov. He's been balling out. He's had some great games too. We got a couple new players, Pavel and Sergey, and both of them have had their games. Sergey's probably played close to 40 points already. And
wow, is that 23?
Yes, I believe so. And he's been playing great on the Dorito side. For a new player, I think he was playing with their D1 team for a couple years. He's been around for a while, but just playing relaxed and.
All right, we see Excessive's breakout. That's Conrad Rangel right there, getting in the little box behind Snake 1. And two players in the back center gunned up for the Vipers, trying to lock down both the Snake and the Dorito side of the field. There, the crossfield spread for Excessive. Whoop, big move by Conrad Rangel to get into Snake 1.
Vipers trying to match it, getting out to the Snake corner.
Yeah, getting out to the Snake corner, and now Vipers spreading the field also wider. Oh, almost got a shot on Conrad, cross field. Dorito 1 player for the Vipers almost got Conrad trying to get into Snake 50, but he made it in there clean. So now he's going to try to gun up cross field, and that puts the Dorito 1 player in a bad position.
He's going to try and take out Chapman there.
He's playing wild out on the side of that. I don't think did he just... He's kind of blocked out. Now Conrad needs to back up off that a little bit.
I think Heyman is, they don't have, Excessive doesn't really have anyone on the
Conrad
Dorito
loses his back guy, and he's about to get run down. Watson died behind Conrad. Conrad felt that he traded out with them. He did. Wait, I don't know if they're going to call him clean. No, they're going to take him off. So number 22.
They do pull a penalty on the Viper player who ran down Rangel. Rangel. Now some chaos on the field. See the last Excessive player.
Not liking that call.
Nope.
There's Heyman Chapman grabbing that flag. So, and a penalty assessed on the Vipers on that point, so they're going to have to start down a body as they tie it up 5-5 right now. Wow, what a great match. This is better.
Keeps getting
much better. Vipers going hand in hand with Excessive. And some people were I was talking to some people who are like, well, how come Excessive's not playing in the pro division? You know, I mean, they've been pro for a while. I mean, they played pro in the other league with these same guys pretty much last year, and but honestly, it's smart, because Rich needs to bring these guys up and train them to win.
Yeah.
And the only way you can train somebody to win is to win. It's like train them to win. Well, of course you do the right things and like, oh, here's the swoop, jump through that. Okay, jump this high. Okay, et cetera, shoot this thing. But until you actually win and you get that in your blood and in your mind state, it's like this mental, it's like climbing up the hill and you got to do it yourself. You find that road. And then you know how to go back to that in the future. Yeah. And we used to do that in Europe, like if your team could go to Europe or that's another reason why you slowly climb up the ranks. So, for them to go down to semi-pro, even though they have some, like Junior Brown used to play for Nexus. He's been around for a couple years now. Yep. I mean, obviously Thomas Taylor's one of the top players out there. But anyway, it's just for a franchise, it's smart because you got a lot of those talented kids out there. If they do a good job in semi-pro, then they realize, oh, we can win, and they get that in their blood. So let's see who they send out. Got Rich Telford, Conrad Thomas, Junior Brown, and I think that's Anthony. See Thomas Taylor.
Getting pumped.
On a hobbled ankle, man. Thomas is just always fighting some form of injury.
He's so reckless with his body, Like I know he trains hard and he works
out
a lot. But if you ever watch him play and get to see him play like a full tournament, he gets just so reckless with his body, and it's great to see. It really is, because he's definitely an entertainer.
All right, we see on the breakout, they send Conrad out to the little box behind Snake 1.
Oh, here comes a red one.
Oh, major penalty. Ooh. God, penalties are just killing the Vipers right now, man. Killing them.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed if I was those guys. I'd be like, look, man, do you really need to do that? Do you not have faith that I'm going to go out there and shoot somebody? Oh, Conrad overextending and getting mowed down by the back center. Still, the Thomas Taylor left alive here. Across the 50, though, in the stand-up can. And
Chapman getting blasted out of the back center. Now you see Rich coming up the middle. Going to work. Thomas grabbing the flag. That's why, man. That's why his body is falling apart. Is because he goes hard, 110%, even when he's hanging the flag.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to hang that before the last 3 seconds came off, so that they could start with 4 again. I mean, not that 3 seconds on a penalty, pretty much.
But a major one come off anyways.
Well, no, but the first. Oh, yeah, the minor comes off anyway. I think he's just trying to. Well, yeah, you're right. It's just Thomas. He just goes hard.
Yeah.
That's just how he do. That's how I do.
What are you looking at?
I was looking at my coffee cup and how it says that the typical American spends 13 years uninterrupted watching TV.
It's ridiculous.
If you were to put it all together.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's interrupted, but.
We need to get that cup, the way I see it, number 17 by Keith Olbermann.
Well, wait, this is a webcast. That doesn't count.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. And we're glad you're watching.
Yeah.
Tell your friends, too, man. And I'd like to send a shout-out to all the guys and sponsors of the PSP, Dye, Key Action, Smart Parts, CP's here as well, EXA, all those companies. So if it wasn't for Dye, Key, Smart Parts.
And Patrick
Sport. And which got CK2 coming out, too.
Yeah, finally. I've been waiting for a long time for this one.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome, man. It's got, like, cutting-edge type stuff that people have not seen in a paintball video yet. So it's going to be sweet. Yeah, so if it wasn't for Patrick Sporer and, the big dogs here at the PSP helping, making this happen, then we wouldn't have, we'd still be kind of stuck with no show, really.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we wouldn't have to have paintball getting out there.
Yeah, and it's free,
Yeah.
Like, that's the best part. Call all your friends, tell them to, even if they just watch for 5 minutes, it's going to be worth it because it's free.
Yeah, so the more people that watch, the better off it's going to be for everyone, and maybe there's a chance you'll be on this one day. 5 seconds for the start of this next point.
Yep.
Viper still got a major penalty.
Here we go with the breakout.
See the breakout.
Excessive losing one off the Dorito corner. Thomas going up to the center. Temple, tall stand-up.
Looks like he got hit too, so chaos here in this the opening moments of this point. Important point, because as it stands right now, Excessive is 1 point away from taking this victory and heading to play Vicious in the final.
Vipers just need to try and hold them off for another minute before the Viper penalty comes off the board.
Yeah, it's tough, though, because they're down bodies. I mean, I think they only have 2 players alive right now.
Yeah.
And Excessive's not really in that good a field position. I mean, they have Conrad and Snake 1.
There goes
and Rich makes a move out to the stand-up.
Heyman mirrors Rich's move.
This is, I mean, obviously a huge point for the Vipers. If they lose, they're going home. But but basically, if they can just get their other guy out of that box in the next 34 seconds, I mean, that would just be perfect. As Junior Brown making a move to that Dorito.
I think Wrangle's going to be a key to this.
And here goes Conrad making a move.
He's gonna
Vipers
be in
making a
good
move.
position.
Conrad in trying to get the 50-yard line. Snake, he's not quite there. He's about the 40. On the outside of that. Now Rich making a move. Oh, Rich might have got shot in his pack. Yeah, Rich getting shot in his pack, trying to get into that Dorito.
Snake
and
player
then
for the
Junior
Vipers
Brown
needs,
making a move
needs
out
to
to
make
the
a move to distract Wrangle from the box.
Look at Conrad's just shooting the box right now, so he's got to come out into Conrad's paint. Oh wow!
He's
Look
in
at that!
dead
He's playing
zone.
the blind. I think that's I think that's Alex Savino.
Yeah, that was smart.
It was a smart play, but he just couldn't hide. I mean, he was just out. I mean, he couldn't get small enough in that little blind spot. So now it's 2-on-2 though. 8 minutes left on the clock. Tons of time left.
Plenty of time.
Conrad still got 2 pods on his back, so he's still got a lot of paint. Vipers making a move out to that back corner. Oh, but Vipers, is that Heyman? Heyman getting shot out of that back corner.
Just trying to make something.
And that's going to do it.
That'll do it.
So Junior Brown is left alive for Excessive in a crazy point.
Wow.
Conrad Wrangle getting run down by the last player left alive. I don't know if he knew that Heyman Chapman, a former Russian player, former trauma player.
Played for X Factor, too.
Played for X Factor. He's been around the block, but just making that mental mistake of dying out of that back corner. I think Junior Brown got the shot on him. And Junior Brown hanging that flag for Excessive. So nice job. Nice job by Excessive. They're going to go on to play Vicious. Like to thank Trevor. Trevor's got to get out of here. You got to go get with your boys.
I got a coach. I got a game in about 10 minutes.
Handle it.
Yeah.
Handle it.
We're going to do work. I think it's going to be a good game, man. Like, you guys should definitely stick around, stay tuned, because it will be a good
Yeah, it's coming up
match.
next. So.